سبحانه هو التائب على من تاب، فلم يجعل بينه وبين العباد حائل. سبحانه جعل ما على الأرض زينة لها، وكل نعيم لا محالة زائل. سبحانه حذر الناس من الشيطان، وللشيطان منافذ وحبائل، فمن أسلم وجهه لله فذلك الكيس العاقل، ومن استسلم لهواه فذلك الضال الغافل. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا وإمامنا وقائدنا وحبيبنا رسول الله محمد. يا رسول الله، الصدق أنت، وأنت إشراق الهدى، ولك الكتاب الخالد الصفحات. من يقصد الدنيا بغيرك يلقها فيها من الأهوال والحسرات. رسول الله صفوة خلق الله أجمعين، حبيب رب العالمين، أنزله ربه وأرسله بالقرآن الكريم، فجاء سراجا وهاجا. رسول الله أفضل خلق الله أجمعين، يا سيد العقلاء، يا خير الورى، يا من أتيت إلى الحياة مبشرا، وبعثت بالقرآن فينا هاديا، وطلعت في الأكوان بدرا نيرا. صلى عليك الله يا علم الهدى. ثم أما بعد، حياكم الله وبياكم، وطبتم وطاب ممشاكم، وتبوأتم من الجنة منزلا. وأسأل الله العلي العظيم أن يبارك جمعنا هذا، إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. All praises due to Allah. Peace and the blessings be upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I bear witness openly that there is no God worthy of worship, worthy of our submission, our sincerity, our true love, except Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the best of the creation of Allah, the one that Allah had sent him with the guidance, with the true light of the truth. We ask Allah to accept our time for His sake. We are sending our blessings and our salutations to all the prophets and the messengers of Allah, starting Adam, all the way down to Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, all the prophets and the messengers of Allah, till we reach to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, we are sending our salams, our salutations, our du'as, our greetings to the household of Rasulullah, to the companions of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My brothers and sisters in Islam, welcome to another Jumu'ah. Welcome to the house of Allah, where everyone is welcome. Welcome to the place that all of us gather together for the sake of Allah, to get some of the knowledge that it will enlighten our hearts, it will enlighten our way, our life, and it will charge our batteries, our hearts, and waiting for another Jumu'ah, inshallah, to continue charging our batteries and our hearts. May Allah accept from all of us. Allahumma ameen. Actually, we came today to discuss and to learn from the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which is narrated by Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab. Abdullah, the son of Umar. And he heard this hadith directly from Rasulullah. This hadith has the classification, the grade, that it is agreed upon, mentioned in al-Bukhari and Muslim. Rasulullah was sitting amongst the Sahaba, and he said the story of 3 men that they were in the previous nations, maybe during the time of Musa, maybe during the time of Dawood, Allah knows. And Rasulullah said the story about the 3 people, those people that they were trapped in a cave. They were walking in the desert, and they had thunder. They had storm. They had heavy rain, and they were pushed to go to the cave, a certain cave. And the weather went so bad to the point that they couldn't come out from the cave. All of a sudden, there was a boulder, huge rock, came from above the mountain and closed the gate, the door of the cave. It closed the mouth of the cave, and they were trapped. They couldn't go anywhere. The cave is so dark, and they have no food, no drink. Definitely they are going to die in the cave. They started to talk with each other, where we can find the salvation. What is going to save us? Then they said to each other, nothing can save us today except that we will make a dua to Allah, asking Him by any good action that we are sure that 100% we did it for the sake of Allah. By that action, by that dua, Allah could answer our dua and save us from that cave. So the first man raised his hand, and I wanted you to pay attention. He started to think about all his good deeds, and he was able to pick only one good deed that he is 100% sure that it was purely, sincerely done for the sake of Allah. So he raised his hand and he said, "Oh Allah, you know that I had 2 parents, that I had my parents and they were living with me. And I made an oath that I must feed my parents first before I feed my wife and my kids. And one day I came late and I had a bowl of milk. And when I came to my parents, I found them asleep. And I stayed all the night next to their bed, holding the bowl of milk, waiting for them to wake. And I had my children crying next to my feet, crying out of hunger. Oh Allah, I waited, standing till Fajr time, and I gave the milk to my parents first, then I give to my children. Oh Allah, if you know that I have done this action only for your sake, oh Allah, save us." And what happened? The huge rock had moved a little bit, but not enough to exit. Then the second man got excited. Now it works. The dua is working. And he started to think, What kind of action? And that action will shock you. He raised his hand and he said, "Oh Allah, I had a cousin and I used to love her so much. I loved her more than anything else in my life. And she was in a dire need of help, financial help. She was desperate for money. And when she came asking him for money, he said with one condition, I wanted to do the haram. I wanted to commit adultery with you in order to give you money." She rejected and she left. And after many days, she was in a very desperate need of money. And finally she came and agreed. And he said, when I was in a position like between a man and his wife, and I was about to commit the haram, she told me, اتق الله ولا تفض الخاتم إلا بحقه. Be mindful of Allah, be aware of Allah, and do not break the seal except with its right way. Means do not do anything except in a halal way. So the man said, I stopped and I took all the money that I had, gold and silver, I give it to her, and I said, I will not do anything haram, take the money and I will have nothing. Oh Allah, if you know that I stopped the action and I give her the money only for your sake, oh Allah, save us. And what happened? The boulder had moved a little bit, but not enough to be saved. The third man raised his hand and he said, oh Allah, you know that I was hiring people for work and I paid them because of their work. I paid them money except one person. He left his wage. He left his money with me. He didn't take it. And I took his money. I invested his money. And then, after many years, he came asking for his money. And he said, do you remember the day so-and-so? You owe me money. And the man responded and said, are you seeing that valley full of cows, full of sheep, full of goats? He said, yes. He said, this is your money. I invested your money, and this is the barakah of your money. He said, come on, are you mocking me? Are you making fun of me? I asked you for couple dollars, couple pounds, couple whatever, and you are giving me valley full of cows? He said, yes, take it. He said, he took it all. He left nothing. Then he raised his hand and he said, oh Allah, if you know that I have done this for your sake, oh Allah, save us. And the rock, the huge rock, was moved completely from the gate of the cave, and they were able to be saved. This is the whole hadith of Rasulullah Muhammad. I just have one question. You know what is that question that will come to the mind after you hear this hadith? What if? What if you are the fourth guy? What if I am? What if I was the fourth person? In which action? Which dua which type of action that you are going to use in that situation. If I told you right now, start thinking of one action that purely 100, not 99, 100% was done for the sake of Allah, not for showing off, not for people, not because of your family, not because of my name, not because of my fame, not because of my reputation, not because of anything, except it is for the sake of Allah. What if you was the fourth guy? What are you going to say? That's a very big question today. Because everyone has to think about himself. That trap in the cave, it's the manifestation also for the hereafter and the hellfire. You could be saved from the hellfire because of one action that you made for the sake of Allah. And nobody could cheat about this because it's the intention. And do you see the first person, the first man? There is a big lesson that we can extract. He put his parents first. He knew the rights of his parents upon him. He reached to the ultimate level of respecting, honoring his parents. But Imam, my parents have passed away. You are included. You are still included. Honoring, respecting, doing goodness to the parents, that is not something will stop because of their death. The man stood the whole night to feed his parents, to take care of his parents. What if they came nowadays and they have seen our situation, what most of people are doing with their parents? And let me be honest and 100% clear today. Your parents will come after your duty towards Allah. Allah first, then your parents. What's my evidence? Surah Al-Isra, Allah said, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah had decreed to worship Him alone and to honor your parents. Number two, nowadays we see kids, we see children are neglectful of their parents, putting them in the nursing homes. You know why? Because they became old. They cannot go to the bathroom by themselves. And they say, Imam, sorry, we are not here back home. We practice the American way. What's the American way? In their minds. That when they get to that age, we give them to the nursing home. But you know what, Imam? I spend on them. Listen to the Quran. Allah said, إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرَ عِنْدَكَ. When they get old, when they reach to the old age, they have to be in your place, live with you. Who said that? Allah. Not the nursing house, not alone in their house alone. Some parents died for 2-3 days and nobody had felt of their death except the bad smell that the neighbors got because of their death. And you know what? In order for so-called man to please his wife, he has to prove that he will give his mom hard time. Who said that this is Islam? Who said to disrespect your mom to please your wife? And I'm saying to the wives who are pushing their men to that situation, be patient. Because wallahi, there will be a day that the wife of your son will do the same with you. It's not a joke. A man one day was complaining to an Imam, and he said, Imam, my mom got old and she is having like Alzheimer, and she is not behaving well, she cannot be controlled. And the wife was pushing. And you know what? Let's get rid of your mom. Your mom became headache. She's annoying. She is very bad. She is causing us to be embarrassed in front of our guests. And one day, the mom was in the highest floor of the building. So the son and the wife, they came to the edge of the building, and he pushed with his wife, he pushed his mom. And the mom got killed. And after many years, her son did the same. كما تدين تدان. As you do, it will be done to you. So pay attention to that. And I'm telling to the wives, the worst situation ever that you could put a man in, to give him the choice between his mom or his wife. That's not acceptable. Honoring the parents, taking care of them. The second person was fearful of the punishment of Allah, was mindful of Allah. That's why I'm telling every Muslim that I can to tell, you are an ambassador of Islam in this country. You know what's the famous phrase that lots of people who are not following religion at all, they will tell you, do whatever you want, but do not get caught. Is that an Islamic principle? No. They say, do whatever you want, steal money, do whatever you want, but do not get caught by the camera. Otherwise you will be in trouble. We are the ummah of Muslims. We are not fearful of the camera. We are not fearful of anything except Allah. Inna lil malaikati aqlam. The angels had pens to write down our deeds, to meet with Allah. So before the cameras, before the system, before the law, before anything else, we are mindful of Allah. That's why Muslims must be, Muslims should be, Muslims must be the greatest example of the trust, honest, being modest, being kind, being gentle, being merciful, to be ambassadors, representators of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Every Muslim, whenever they meet, any non-Muslim, whenever they meet Muslim, they should say, we met the most honest and trustworthy person. The third case, giving the rights. Giving the rights back. You know how many people had inherited the mentality that we have no problem. We have no problem on not giving the rights of our sisters, their rights in inheritance. You know what? How many people have inherited that mentality that no problem when we oppress the children, when we oppress some of the sisters, when we oppress this, when we take that money. And you know what? I wonder from some Muslims still have this mentality. I got a call last week, Imam, can I do this? I said, brother, that's cheating, that's stealing. He said, but we are living in the Bilad al-Kuffar. What's Bilad al-Kuffar? The disbelief, amongst the disbelievers. So it is halal to take money. Who said that? In which religion is that? I want you to read the first ayah in Surah Al-Ma'idah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود. Oh, you who believe, fulfill the contracts, the treaties. When you entered to the country, you had a treaty, you had a contract. You have no reason to cheat and steal. And we have people have this double standard. In the masjid, MashaAllah, they are so pure, nice, like you are about to meet one of the companions of Rasulullah. But once he leaves the masjid, has no problem on cheating, playing with his taxes, playing with this, taking money. No problem. Has not, and they will tell you, you know, Imam, that's a situation, and outside the masjid, it's a situation. That's not the ideology of Muslims. We are mindful of Allah in every aspect in our life. Think about my question. What if you was the fourth guy? What kind of action that you are going to mention to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? May Allah guide us to the right path. Allahumma ameen. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي. الحمد لله وكفى وصلاة وسلاما على النبي المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we thank Him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our deeds. Allahumma ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. My brothers and sisters, this hadith, I think we have kind of responsibility to convey this hadith to our family members. Before we move to the salah, if I have a very humble request from all of you, I wanted to ask all of you to convey this hadith to all your family members tonight. Bring them tonight, tell them about the story of the three men who were trapped in a cave, and ask them what kind of dua that we can share, what kind of story that we are there to share with Allah, our Creator. May Allah bless our gathering. Allahumma ameen. Inshallah, do not forget to make a sadaqah in your masjid. You have the needs of the masjid, inshallah, to be fulfilled. Give sadaqah. Who knows? It could be one of the actions that one day, on the day of judgment, you can talk with Allah about. May Allah accept our good deeds. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا. اللهم توفنا مسلمين وألحقنا بالصالحين واحشرنا يا ربنا في زمرة خير المرسلين إنك على كل شيء قدير. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وأقم الصلاة قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم.